What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to, a BKFC 12 veteran. Literally took to the squared circle and won a fight bonus for his trouble. He is the one, the only Josh D-Day Dyer. Josh, how are you feeling, my man?
Hey man, I'm feeling really good right now. Yeah, just feel like $1 million. Just trying to rest up and get back to training. I don't like to take too much time off, so yeah, feeling great.
So, dude, obviously, I think it's a cool little tie-in because your moniker is D-Day. You fought on 9/11. That had to be kind of cool, right?
Super cool. I always try to go out there and put on a show for people. I know we spoke about that last time, but especially on a day like that, that's an opportunity to go out there and bang, and that's what I like to do. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that everybody got a chance to see what I'm all about.
No, and it's a big stage, BKFC, and they're taking the combat sports world by storm. They've attracted people from MMA, from boxing, and it's just, look at Paige Van Zandt. That was a really big get for them. I think Christine Ferrer was a big get for them. There's so many cool fighters that are both, legendary in their own respective sports, but also a lot of up and comers that are just like they're cutting their teeth and kind of soldiering their path in the combat sports world, and they're doing it in the square circle by toeing the line with BKFC.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Christine's an awesome person as well. I'm glad you mentioned her. I got a chance to meet her. We stayed in the same hotel, so I got to meet her in line and everything. And then she gave me some good tips and everything. So, yeah, no, great fighters. And yeah, I can't wait to meet Paige Van Zant. She's one of my favorite female fighters for the longest time. I'd like to get a chance to meet her, watch her fight in person. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a big day for BKFC, and there's even in 12 kind of iterations of BKFC in terms of their pay-per-views and what have you. It's still something that is kind of on an upward trajectory, right? Kind of getting people used to, bare knuckle fighting. And even though bare knuckle fighting has pretty much been around since the beginning of man, theoretically
Right.
speaking, you know?
Yeah, no, it's kind of cool to see it come back. And yeah, there's something about it, just smacking somebody with a bare fist that just it feels so much different. And getting cracked by one feels there's nothing quite like it.
No, for sure. For sure. But speaking of things, are kind of not like other things or kind of oblong. Obviously, we're kind of in this kind of COVID situation. Here where I am in California, pretty much, there haven't really been fights. There have been, I think, three different boxing promotions that have done fights. But when you're thinking about PBC, Premier Championship, Premier Boxing Championship, Golden Boy, and Top Rank, those are kind of the creme de la creme in terms of boxing promotions. But, whether it be MMA or boxing on the regional scale, things haven't come back. And they don't look like they're going to come back until possibly 2021, 22. That's what people are kind of forecasting right now. So, what was the preparation like? What was the ambiance like in terms of, getting there in Florida?
David Feldman is the guy's a genius. The way that he puts a show together, there's a reason why they are allowed to host shows and like they make it work because they have a system down to where they get everybody to where they need to be. They're safe. They have people tested with COVID immediately. For the most part, we're quarantined. We're really taken care of, and we have some very strict rules to follow. And they make sure. I was only able to have one corner, and they don't play around, and they want to keep those shows rolling. So we've all got rules to follow, and yeah, it's hats off to David. The guy he's pushing forward. I like his style. I think we have a lot in common. So that's one of the things like that. I like to push forward too. So as long as he's out there doing his thing, I'm going to have his back and do my best to do the same thing.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. And that's kind of the name of the game in terms of who can pivot and figure things out a lot better than I wouldn't say others, but just kind of figuring it out. When you think of like, oh, maybe the Cro-Magnon folk, that kind of hunkered in their caves. There had to be one to kind of venture out. Maybe he made it,
Exactly.
maybe he didn't. But I mean, for the kind of kind of the prospering of the entire community, you kind of have to do that, and that's kind of where we are now, and not just nationally, but worldwide. What are we going to do?
Right? Yeah, you gotta have some pioneers out there that are willing to take those chances and those risks. You gotta have risk takers, and a lot of times they get flack for whenever it doesn't work out, but whenever it does work, they become legends. And that's the type of guy that David Feldman is. He's a legend, and I just can't wait to grow with the guy. I mean, not just sucking up. The guy is you can see him in his presence. I mean, he expects people to perform. I mean, he's putting on a show that it's a premium show. He doesn't want people showing up not performing at any level. I mean, it's premier. That's the easiest way I can describe it. We're separating ourselves from the rest of the pack. There's tons of shows out there that are average for the most part, and we're trying to make something extraordinary. And that's the trail we're trying to blaze. I mean, if you're trying to be first and the best, you gotta bring in the best. You gotta have people that have that same like mind mindset to realize that it's more than just a fight. We're trying to lead a little revolution here.
No, I agree, and shout out to David Feldman and BKFC, because I mean, in terms of separating themselves from the pack, again, in 12 iterations of the show as of Friday night, my goodness, it's incredible. I mean, they've got national brands like Hooters, and I mean, the sponsorships that kind of encompass the squared circle. We're talking about, in terms of paydays, are one of the premier promotions in terms of payoffs for its fighters. And there's a lot of things that could be said about certain fight promoters, good, bad, and indifferent, and whatever. But I don't hear that from Feldman, which is awesome.
Yeah, he has a good reputation for taking very good care of his guys. Loyalty is very important with him. I've only been with him for one show, but from what I've heard from the other fighters that have been with him for a while, is he treats people very well whenever they take care of him. So we're all in this together.
Absolutely. And again, one fight in, holy smokes, did you leave a lasting mark, pardon the pun, but did you leave a lasting mark on the BKFC Legion? Because I mean, you not only did you win your debut, but you came away with the bonus. Now, I mean, obviously, as you're in it, and we're kind of days removed from the actual fight. Did you know it was going to be as special as it was when you're in the moment, in the pocket?
I expected it to be so. Um, I like to, in my own words, manifest my own destiny. When I go in there, I've got a goal that I am going to go for. Granted, I did not expect Jared Warren to be as tough as he was. I knew he was going to be an absolute stud, but I just had never met another person that could take that kind of damage and continually come back at me. So yeah, no, it became a lot more special when I saw him get up from that one punch. I've never seen anybody get up from a hit like that, and he got up, blood running down his face. I mean, he did not want to quit. There was zero quit in his eyes. I mean, I had to give him a high five. The guy was just a stud. So that's my type of fight right there. And I was praying that I would have an opportunity to have that type of fight. And Jared Warren brought every last bit of it. He made me give him everything, and that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah, and shout out to Mr. Warren, because I mean, again, you never want to kind of downplay your opponent, and there's a fine line between confidence and kind of downplaying it, because if you set up that person to be like a tin can and you beat him, oh well, you just beat a tin can or whatever. So it's pretty awesome to see, that it worked out in both your favors, and even I mean, I guess on paper loss, he showed BKFC what he's made out of, which again, that's all you could imagine is, the best outcome for all parties involved. And even if you're going to take an L, theoretically speaking, that you put on a performance that you're going to be asked back, and sometimes for even more moolah.
Yeah, Jared Warren deserves to be taken care of. That guy is the toughest dude that I've ever struck with in my life. He hit me harder than I've ever been hit, and I've fought some pretty ridiculous people. And I hit him harder and cleaner than I've ever hit anybody. And he just kept coming back. So props, I mean, to anybody who's watching me, the guy's a savage, and I expect him to thoroughly run through his division as well. I prefer not to fight him again.
Oh no, I mean it's good to say, and again, that's the mark of a true and blue warrior, to know. I mean, what you're capable of, and I mean, if you guys were to face in the future, why not that be for championship gold in your division rather than kind of running it back just for pride's sake?
Exactly. And, I've already spoke to him about this in person. After the fight, I just let him know if he ever wanted to run it back, that's something that I would be willing to do. I am hoping that's something that he would rather do later rather than sooner, because I think that we both have proven something. I don't really know if we have much more to prove to each other, but in the future, that would be something that I think that would bring the fans a lot of pleasure. And, that'd be something to discuss whenever that time comes. We both have to speak to our managers, of course. But yeah, I don't expect that to be an easy fight in the second round either. But the fans know what they're going to see, so you know it's exciting.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you're talking about how hard Jared, hit, and how hard you hit him in return. But was there a moment where you were like, you felt like I'm coming away with the win? Or I mean, right up until that bell rang, you didn't know what was going to happen, especially him coming back with some, I mean, after the vicious shots that you laid on him, like holy smokes. Like, I mean, was there a moment where were like, oh, I think we've got this?
So the entire fight, uh, I have a destination that I'm trying to reach, and there's nothing on this planet that's going to stop me from reaching it. And Jared just happened to be an extremely, extremely tough obstacle in front of me that made me use every trick that I had to attain that victory. But I have a mindset that's unbreakable. When I step in there, I'm I'm untouchable. I'm going to get in there and I'm unstoppable. There's no one that's going to stop me from achieving my goal, and I don't care who it is. There's no one. But like I said, there's certain people that do make it slightly more challenging for me, and Jared happens to be in that number one spot out of everyone I've ever fought. So hats off to the guy. Uh, I hope he's healing up nicely.
Absolutely. And I mean, chiming in on the comments are actually some BKFC 12 alums themselves. Brian Maxwell, who is on the card,
What's up,
says,
Brian?
"What's up,
That dude's
fellas?"
got a mean right hook. This guy right here, Brian Maxwell. Watch out for him. This guy's
Shout
a
out to
stud too.
Brian. Absolutely. And Jesse Velasquez says bare knuckle boxing has never been so popular for sure. But I definitely want to see, like, especially at the turn of the century, kind of 18, at the end of the 1800s into the turn of the 1900s, what the furor was, because we didn't have social media or TV or radio. It was just newspaper, but people would be lined up by the thousands to any arena that had bare knuckle boxing, and that was something that kind of came over, especially on the eastern seaboard, with everybody that came to Ellis Island initially. We're talking about European immigrants and Italian immigrants and what have you, that barred that was a big part of their culture that they brought here, and I mean, again, there were arenas packed by the thousands 100 years ago to do the same thing that you guys are doing now, which I think is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's nothing like getting the opportunity to relive history. And you're right, it was a part of a culture, back then. I mean, like the savagery that those guys were made out of is just ridiculous. I'd like to relive that, even if it's just for a moment, to get in there and go after something that in my words, it's savage. It's a retro sport designed to test you. There's nothing that makes it easier. You just go in there and you beat the daylights out of each other, and to me, that's bonding. That's I've got more respect for the people that I fight than most of my friends. Because it's just a different type of person. You got your you got your family, you got your work friends, you got uh, your work brothers, you got your fight brothers. Those fight brothers, it's a different type of family, and it's always interesting to finish up a fight and just have that connection with another person.
No, 1,000%. And John Parker chiming in saying bare knuckle is an age-old tradition, but the new wave, it's an exciting time for all combat sports. Congratulations on the win. That's
Thank
that's
you.
awesome. And then Jesse Velasquez has spoken like a true martial artist. He's definitely talking about you, not this guy with the face for radio. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I think
and
there's two martial artists here.
yes, absolutely. And Joshua Bordeaux, who again fought on
Thanks, Josh.
BKFC 12, says amazing fight, And I mean, Jesse brings out, I mean, cutmen have to be on point for bare knuckle for sure. I mean, not to say that, in boxing or MMA they aren't, but my goodness, talk about the amount of cuts. I would think, I mean, in this generation, the only thing that you would leave a fighter cut up this much would be like Lawe or Muay Thai,
Yeah,
and it could stop a fight.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I was, believe it or not, I was hoping that they wouldn't stop the fight. Whenever I smashed him with that right cross, uh, I knew he was still fine. And a guy like Jared, he's got too much pride to stay down. And I was hoping that they weren't going to stop it because I knew that would piss him off something fierce, and then he'd be coming at me way sooner rather than later. So no, when he got back up and they allowed him to keep fighting, I was super relieved. I wasn't done. Like I wanted to keep going. I had more to show, and I know he did too. So I'm really glad that it worked out like that.
No, 1,000%. Now we gotta talk, man, because I mean a bonus. You went to the pay window not once but twice because not only did you get your fight money and show money, but you got your bonus. How again your first iteration at BKFC? I mean, did you feel a bit validated that? I mean, out of all of the crazy, fantastic performances that happened last Friday, that man, my piece of artwork, what I laid on the canvas, what me and Jared laid on the canvas, was worthy of that much more adulation.
That's my goal every fight. I don't want to be an ordinary fighter. Winning is not enough for me. Um, James Bond said the world is not enough, but I want to go out there and I want to paint in the ring. I want to show people that you can do anything while you're out there. You can move, you can strike, you can brawl, you can counter strike, you can skip around, you can do whatever you feel like. You throw those random shots and make it beautiful in its own way. And that's what I aim to do. Whenever when I get out there, I want people to be excited when I come on the show. I want them to be like, hey, this is the next Conor McGregor. This is the guy that you want to watch. We don't want to miss this cat. Like get your bit friends, get your buddies, piss first, get your popcorn. Josh Dyer's on TV. He's gonna do some crazy shit. We do not want to miss this. That's the type of fight that I want to bring each and every single time. That's what I aim to do.
I think it's absolutely brilliant, and that you did do on Friday night. Now, without divulging too much of it, because you were saying that you're going to take a couple days and then get back to the gym, get yourself ready. But do you have a timetable in which you want to fight again?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm fighting on November 14th. I believe that's when Paige Van Zant is going to be making her debut for bare knuckle as well. It's supposed to be the biggest show of the year, and I am super honored to be on that show. Like I said, I've always wanted to meet Paige, so I'm excited to be there. And also, I want to represent. I want to be on the big shows, the big cards, and I want to be fighting the tough guys. I want people to look at me and go, "Hey, this is gonna be a great fight." Like, is Josh on the card? Yep. All right, we're buying bare knuckle this time. If we want to see it, or we want to sign up for that membership so we can watch them all. It's going to be a big show. I don't like waiting too long. I can fight. I can fight next week. I'm a pretty tough dude. As soon as I heal up, I'm golden. So I don't like to waste any time.
No, I love it. I love it. The old adage is, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready, and that's one thing that you are taking to heart, to the umpteenth degree. But I mean, of course, you're a tough guy, right? But there's a legion of people, family, sponsors, everyone that have helped you get to the bare knuckle fighting squared circle. So let's shout them out, my man.
Hey, just want to give some big shout outs. One, I want to give a big shout out to Bare Knuckle Management. It's a great group of guys. They're getting everybody together, putting a strong team together, and they just represented their first show, the new business, and getting everything worked out, and it looks very promising. I want to give shout out to my boxing coach, Jerry James. He's a former Olympic boxer, won national title, just a stud guy. He's been teaching me a lot of slick tricks and the actual art of boxing. I want to give a big shout out to Douglas Jenkins, my original trainer. He's the one, like I said, he's the one that makes me a savage. If you listen to the fight, you could hear him, yell, Josh, like when I'm on my break during the bleeding time. They switched the camera rolls, but he said, make it nasty. I actually lost my contact in the first round, so I fought almost blind out of my right eye most of the fight. So I did kind of have to make it nasty so that we could try to end that a little sooner rather than later. But another shout out to my fiance Shelly Raddick. Like I said, I got 3 kids. She's always helping support me in my dreams, and without her, I'd never be able to do that. We're a real team, and my obviously my mom and dad, they showed up down there, and my uncles, my cousin Dawson. You got to watch out for Dawson Heath. You got kids that ranked 3rd in the state of Georgia. He's got scholarships all over the place. He's going to be better than all of us. And lastly, Austin Peterson. Austin Pretty Boy Peterson is probably one of the best southpaws in the entire Midwest, up and coming. I'm going to be trying to get him on a card in the future. The guy's a dangerous fighter. He beat the daylights out of the guy in Golden Gloves boxing for the #1 spot, and actually knocked the guy clean out of the ring in the last 3 seconds. So you think this is entertaining? Wait till you see this cat show up. So we'll be trying to put on some shows, showing people these South Dakota boys are for real.
Well, I can't wait. I mean, you've got your cousin and one of your teammates that are kind of chomping on the bit to achieve their athletic endeavors, and you. I mean, my goodness, you lost the contact, before a bonus worthy fight. That's just, again, it's just like that cherry on top that, before you finish your, again, award-winning performance, that you went in half blind. Like that's the stuff that legends are made of. You were talking about Dave Feldman being a legend, but I mean, these are the legendary stories that, again, will make you a legend in your own right soon enough. But again, your cousin and your corner, your partner there, seem like they're kind of chomping at the bit to kind of even show you out. So I just can't wait to you guys all get.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I said, these guys are going to be better than I ever am. So I'm just I'm trying to show them that it's possible each and every time. I want to go out there and we're chasing the dream. And, I'm trying to bring everybody with me. We're going to make us a really entertaining show.
No, 100%, which I have to ask, right? For those who haven't been a part of the D-Day train, where can they find you on social media, my man?
So if you add me on Facebook, Joshua D-Day Dyer, that's my Facebook page. Like I said last time, I respond to people every time. So you send me a message, say, hey, what's up, whatever. I'm happy to talk to you. Give me a shout out. Good luck. I had a bunch of people that wished me good luck for this last fight. Thanked me, and then for putting on a great performance, telling me congratulations stuff. I appreciate that. That's what it's all about, guys. I mean, I want to entertain you guys, and if any of you are looking to go that route too, I want to inspire you. So let's just keep moving forward. Like I said, we're all in this together. We all got a part to play, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Well, we're happy that you're a part of it, and we cannot wait till that November fight. I mean, chomping at the bit. Again, it was already cool because everybody has that kind of curiosity on what Paige VanZant is going to do, don't do, or what have you. But it's even more worth the price of admission knowing that D-Day is literally going to, kind of end it all come November. So I cannot wait to see it, my man. But dude, thank you for joining us here because I mean it was so soon after your victory, man, and may you win more victories going
Yeah.
forward.
Hey man, I'm looking forward to it every single time. It's a good time. So yeah, we can't wait for the next podcast. Appreciate it.
No worries, man. It's an honor and privilege, my man. And thank you guys for joining us here at According to Woods. But for Josh D-Day Dyer, this is According to Woods, and we are out. And don't forget to smash that like, share, and subscribe button because that's cool too.
It's worth